All right, hello and welcome to Chapter 16, Module 2, Video 2. All right, we left off with firewalls. Again, don't forget to write the notes that I asked you to. All right, with firewalls. So, what is a firewall? You may think of a firewall as a security guard that is in front of a building. Any packet that comes in, he's going to look at a list to see if that packet is permitted to go in or denied entrance into the network. That's basically what it is. So firewall has direction. Is he going to be looking for packets coming into the router or out of the router? So the direction of where you apply the access list, which is the instructions that the firewall will use, is important. All right. The demilitarized zone. So a DMZ zone, please write this down. Demilitarized zone is a place where you have all public access should be out there, outside your LAN. Is an area outside your LAN where you have your routers. I'm sorry, you can have routers and switches where all the public access servers should be located, like HTTP, the web server, and maybe e-commerce servers, but it also should be protected. And the reason you put it outside your LAN is in case there is an attack, you are not compromising your internal private LAN. So that's what a DMZ zone is, a demilitarized zone. All right, when it comes to the different types of firewalls, so please write these down: the packet filtering, the application filtering. So a packet filtering, like I talked about, like a security guard looks at your IP or MAC addresses, or even your port number, depending on what application, and will either deny you or permit you to come in. You can deny them using URL filtering or a stateful pack. Stateful pack inspection firewall is the most common, and the best way to go is, because what they do is you're only allowing, please write this down. That's what a stateful firewall is. Allows incoming packets only if connection was initiated from the outside. All right, secure endpoint, which is endpoint meaning the host. Users must be trained. So write this down. And you must have information. This information has to be placed inside a written security document. All right, let's talk about device security. Device security meaning your router, your switches, your hosts, your servers, right? First thing you're going to do, number one, is use the Cisco Auto Secure. This is a command that you could use on Cisco that will protect you from the outside on your router, for example, right? That command goes on the router. Number two, in the operating system, check out the default names, usernames and password, restrict system access. So we're writing this down, right? All unnecessary services and applications are turned off, and update patches on new system, okay? Strong passwords you gotta have. Make sure you use long passwords, a minimum 15 characters, passphrase if possible. And don't forget to use capital letters, lowercase letters, and some numbers, and maybe, if possible, use some of the symbols those on the keyboard. But a strong password is extremely important. And what else? So here's some additional password securities. Password services encryption. Please write this down. These are commands. This command will allow you to encrypt the VTY and the console password. Security password minimum length 8 characters. Okay, that's self-explanatory. Block for 120 seconds if somebody attempted 3 attempts within 60 seconds. Okay, so these 60 and 120 are seconds. And if you go down here, time exact 5:30, time exact for 5. I'm sorry, time exact for 5 minutes for 30 seconds. So for 5 minutes, if you sense there is no connections, if if you're not typing and you're not sending data through the VTY within 5 minutes, you're going to lose connection to the privilege mode, the exec privilege mode. It's going to time out and you're going to have to type in your password again. All right. And you're only allowing SSH, no telnetting, because SSH is more secured. All right. So hopefully you wrote all of it down. If you didn't get that, pause and rewind, because I think this is important. All right. Enable SSH. Okay, so here are the commands. I'm going to give you the commands to do all of these. Configure a unique. I want you to write these down, because we're going to end up doing this in a class activity. You'll write a host name. Host name. The command is host name space. I'm going to give you an example. R1. Host name R1. Second, configure an IP domain, and the command for that is IP space domain dash name space cisco.com. Number 3, generate a key. This will generate a private and public key. And the command is crypto space key space generate space RSA space general dash keys space modulus space 1024. Well, there you go. The command is right here. And you write 1024 or 248. The bigger the key, by the way, the longer it will take to generate. All right. Verify or create local data entries. That means you got to have a username and a password. So type username space admin. That's a username space secret space and whatever password you want. All right. Then you go to the line VTY04 and then you type transport space input space SSH, and then you type login local, which means when you are prompted for a username and a password, your username and password is going to be sent to the router, and the username and password are located locally, which is on the router, and that's where you authenticate the user, right? You could send the login information to a TACAC server or a Radius server, but we'll do that some other time. So when you type transport space input only SSH, don't put telnet. That means you're only allowed SSH. Telnetting is denied. All right. Don't also, on the last step, please write this down. Disable unused services. Okay. Make sure all the ports that are not are on the switch that are open should be shut down. And so on. Disable any services such as CPU cycles and RAMs and so on. All right, so that's that for chapter 16. Please write down whatever I asked you to write down and submit that as homework, and I'll see you on chapter 17.